WrestleMania goes big time, which is good of it.
It's a goddamn siege.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. It's another episode of 10 years ago, episode 113, and tonight we are going to be looking at WrestleMania 22. I should really get that intro changed, shouldn't I? Because I look absolutely nothing like that these days. These, for example, this, ladies and gentlemen, is known as getting old. I can't see bugger all without them these days. 36. It is the 2nd of April 2006, and we are live at the All-State Arena in lovely Chicago, Illinois. There are 17,155 fans on hand for WrestleMania 22, compared to the giant stadiums that, of course, we are used to these days. This WrestleMania seems freaking tiny. In fact, every WrestleMania since this one, as far as I can tell, I could be wrong, let me know down below if I am, but as far as I remember, every WrestleMania since this show has been held in a massive stadium. Now, before we go on, I need to point out a couple of things. First of all, if you haven't already, and if you're new to my videos, please hit that subscribe button and give me a like and a thumbs up and all that jazz down below. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think of this video, good, bad, whatever. I am always love to hear from you guys. And also, if you like my WrestleMania reviews, I have many that I've done over the last, decade that I've been doing videos now. WrestleManias 1, 2, 3. I've done, I never do 4, 5 or anything like that, but I did 10 and 11. I've never done 12. One day I'll get around to doing that in the bloody Iron Man match, you know, the ultimate divider of wrestling fans. But then I've done every single WrestleMania from WrestleMania 13 through to 21. They're all in a big ass playlist down below. If you like them, go and check them out. That'd be great. So, Destiny's Child Michelle Williams sings America the Beautiful, but not before Viscera has won an 18-man battle royal, last eliminating Gene Snitsky, which of course means that it was not his fault. Our hosts for this evening are Jim Ross, which is good to hear, and King for Raw, Cole and Taz for SmackDown. Our opening contest is the Big Show and Kane defeating Carlito and Chris Masters in a bit of a meh opener to retain the tag team championships. The set for this show is the city skyline, because of course we're in Chicago, and when Kane makes his entrance it all sets on fire, and that's a really nice little touch. I like that a lot. JR points out, as the champs are making their entrances, you know, the champs are Big Show and Kane, that this is the first time that the tag team titles have been defended in a straight up 2-on-2 match since WrestleMania 15 back in 1999. That's fucking ludicrous, isn't it? Anyway, match is a little more than a squash. You see, Carlito and Chris Masters, you know, those young pups and all that, but they're just, it's... Kane gets a nice drop kick. Show throws Carlito onto Masters on the outside. Kane dives off the top to the outside. The heels manage to ram Show's head into an exposed turnbuckle and get a flapjack for 2. When they try a double suplex, Show counters, hot tag to Kane, who cleans house. Masters gets a master lock on. Show quickly breaks out of it. Carlito gets a backbreaker, but heel miscommunication and a chokeslam by Kane gets the win for the champions. 6 minutes 42. It's a meh. The important thing here, in my opinion, is that the heels never once in this match look like a threat. Okay, any offense that they got in was by nefarious methods. You know, you saw like Big Show's head get rammed into the turnbuckle, and then they had to have a replay a couple minutes later of Carlito removing the turnbuckle, because it wasn't made very clear. It was just one of those, Show's head was rammed into the turnbuckle. Like, okay, what was that all about? And then it's only afterwards, like, yes, okay. No, not a very good match. And in my opinion, the Money in the Bank match, which we're about to talk about, should have gone on first to really fire this crowd up. In the back, Shawn Michaels talking about how he doesn't expect to steal the show tonight, because he's the showstopper, he's the show stealer, he's pissed in WrestleMania. You know, he normally steals the show at WrestleMania, but on this night, he's not expecting to. He's just been expecting to hurt Vince. Okay, next up, our second match of the eve is RVD defeating Bobby Lashley Finlay, Matt Hardy, Ric Flair and Shelton Benjamin in an interpromotional Money in the Bank match. What an odd lineup this is, don't you think? So you've got a couple of young guys now, but then Finlay and Flair are in there as well. That's weird. All the commentators are on this one, all four of them, because of course it's interpromotional. That wasn't even a word. It's an interpromotional battle. It's not even a battle royal. It's not. It's a Money in the Bank. Cut it out. Don't worry. After a ball, what? All right, who's been buying me the alcohol-free beers again? We've said this doesn't work. After a brawl, Matt Hardy tries to bring a ladder in. Hardy drop kicks him and then dives over the ropes onto Matt and lands hard on the ladder. Shelton sets the ladder on the ropes, runs up it, and then somersaults onto four men on the outside. Breathtaking stuff, and gets a huge pop. Now this is from this moment on, this crowd tonight are pretty damn hot for most things. Because of course they've got no reason to give a shit in the opening contest. But from now on, we'll talk about it more I'm sure as we go on. Flair sets the ladder and climbs it, but is superplexed off by Hardy. Big pop for that too. He's carried to the back, Ric Flair this is, as he's hurt his leg. RVD puts Shelton on a ladder and hits a rolling thunder. Lashley climbs a ladder, and then Shelton hits a sunset flip off him. Jesus, I'm just not working properly at all today, man. Shelton goes to sunset flip him off, but Lashley is too strong, so it takes help from Hardy and Finlay to be able to bomb Lashley, because that's a very difficult sentence, obviously. Jesus. This how... Fuck, man. I might as well just start again. This is just reading. It's just reading bullet points. It's not difficult, is it? This hot crowd wants RVD, but it's Finlay who controls which ladder shots for everyone. Then Flair limps back out. He takes out Finlay and climbs the ladder. Shelton tries to stop him and is chopped out of the ring. He climbs, but a shillelagh shot stops him so Finlay climbs and brawls with Shelton up top. Lashley knocks him down, but then hits a Dominator on Shelton. He climbs, but RVD kicks a ladder. It hits a chair into his back. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on today at all. Hardy climbs a ladder and hits a leg drop on Lashley. He climbs, but Finlay stops him, so Matt Hardy hits a side effect. RVD goes up the ladder and hits a splash, enabling him to climb. Shelton comes out. No, it's crazy this bit. Yeah, RVD's climbing, and the camera is such a way. Imagine you've seen RVD climbing like this. Shelton comes like this, out of nowhere, completely out of shot, and it looks fucking brilliant. And I've lost my place. Shelton comes out of nowhere, lands on the ladder and brawls with RVD. Hardy climbs up, RVD knocks off Hardy and Shelton to the outside, enabling him to climb up and get the briefcase at 12 minutes and 14 seconds. Other than knowing about the winner, because of course, RVD cashes in later on in the year, and we all know about that one, I had completely forgotten about this match, but there's some really good stuff in it that's made better by a red hot crowd. The crowd are so into everything that happens in this match. It probably, because of my description of it, doesn't actually sound very good, because I can't talk, because, why not? But, yeah, this is a really, really enjoyable match. Happy to go 3.5 stars. I repeat my previous statement, though. This should have gone on first. In the back, Josh Matthews says the money back. God, it's so lame. Josh Matthews said that we've just seen a 5-star classic match. And God, that I don't know what it is. Hearing a star rating on a show just sounds crap. Does that make sense? It's something I don't like. Anyway, he talks to new Hall of Famer Mean Gene, but he's interrupted by Randy Orton, who gasses on about how great he is before he's interrupted by Batista, who says that whoever wins the championship tonight, Batista will be waiting for them. And then Howard Finkel introduces us to the 2006 Hall of Fame cast, which of course is the aforementioned Mean Gene, Sensational Sherry. If you haven't seen her Hall of Fame speech, go check it out. It's fantastic. Tony Atlas, Vern Gagne, William, the Refrigerator Perry, the Blackjacks, Eddie Guerrero, accepted of course by Vicky and Chavo Guerrero, and of course Bret Hart, who didn't want to take play because they all come out on the entrance ramp and they all have a good wave. But Howard Finkel says it before this. Bret Hart didn't feel comfortable being part of this. And you're like, dude, really? Come on. But yeah, the thing that I come away from of this is watching it is, if you'd have told me at this point that Vicky Guerrero would go on to be such a good heel over the next couple of years, I would have laughed in your face. Like, absolutely not. No chance at all. But no, she did, and that's great. So, next up is JBL defeating Chris Benoit in a mere match. There's a nice touch as the entrance ramp lifts up so that JBL's limo can come out. That's really good. Not really much to this one, I'm afraid. Benoit controls until he wants the headbutt. He JBL pushes Benoit off the top, hits a big superplex, and then wants Eddie's 3 amigos. He gets 2, but Benoit blocks the 3rd, eats a big boot, and this match has been this match is really, really dull. So JBL, takes it up a notch by knocking on a chin lock. Yeah. Also, I just said knocking, so yeah. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I can't actually talk. Dear me. Benoit suplex starts a bit and hits the 3 amigos, then the diving headbutt where she gets 2. JBL grabs the ref to escape with Jim. He goes for the clothesline for help, but it's countered into a crossface. But JBL rolls through it, grabs the ropes like the utter bastard that he is, and gets the 1, 2, 3 and the United States Championship. Which I didn't mention before because I'm just not with it today. At 9:44. Not a great match, and this one played to near silence. Bear in mind how red-hot the fans were for the Money in the Bank match. They just couldn't give a flying fuck about this one. The clothesline from Hell counter into the crossface got the biggest reaction of the match. The finish was a typical heel one. I've got no problem with that one. And to be honest, my biggest thing taken away from this one was that after Chris Benoit had helped Vicky and Chavo induct Eddie Guerrero into the Hall of Fame the night before. So I went into this one completely expecting Benoit to retain the United States Championship. So, quite a big surprise for JBL to win. Next, Edge defeating Mick Foley in a fantastic hardcore match. This one all came out after Edge had lost the championship back to John Cena. There was a rematch on Raw with Mick Foley as the guest referee. Edge lost the match and blamed Foley for it, so gave him a beating and then challenged him to a match at WrestleMania. And this brought out Mick's dormant evil side. For example, we saw at Saturday night's main event, my last episode, there's a link to it down below, if you'd like to go and watch that one, that Mick landed in some tacks and was smiling away about it. Joey Styles joins us for guest commentary, which is good with King. So Mick starts off in control with a bulldog and an elbow in the corner. Edge comes out with various tray shots and a spear, but Edge weirdly is hurt off the spear. It turns out that Mick Foley is got barbed wire wrapped around his midsection, and Edge, the fucking nutcase that he is, blades his arm so the blood is running down his arm. Fucking insane. If you look closely, if you want to know who he is, and if you look closely as he's selling, he pushes the blade under the ring apron. So yeah, one of those things that once again you spot it. I don't want to see that, but yeah, we did. Foley attacks with the barbed wire and traps Edge in the ropes, and then retrieves Barbie, his baseball bat covered in barbed wire. Lisa jumps on Mick's back to stop him. That doesn't work at all, as Mick Foley hits a clothesline on Edge with Lisa on his back, so the two of them go outside. A swinging neckbreaker gets 2 from Mick, but he's thrown into the ring steps on Edge to take control. He does this by throwing Mick into the steps again, then sets up a table, puts Mick on it, but Mick rolls off. To show his frustration, Edge slams Mick onto the ramp. In the ring, Edge covers Mick in lighter fluid. This makes Mick mad, so it's a pile driver. He wants a concerto, but Lisa once again distracts, allowing Edge to hit a DDT on a chair. Edge gets Barbie and uses it, busting Mick open, then hits a bulldog onto the bat for 2. Nasty, nasty bastard. Edge gets out a bag of tacks, but is suplexed onto them. Mick gets out Mick's Stocko, wraps it in the barbed wire, because why not, and then uses it on Edge, and then Lita comes over to try and break it, so Mick gets the barbed wire sock, puts it into Lita's mouth, and this is real barbed wire because it busts Lita's lip open. Fantastic. Mick unloads with 3 shots from Barbie and an elbow drop. He drives Barbie into Edge's face, making him scream in agony. I know, I would as well. Foley gets the lighter fluid and pours a whole goddamn bottle onto the table on the outside. But Lita hits him with Barbie. She gets another bottle of lighter fluid, covers the table in that. So this thing is absolutely saturated with lighter fluid by this point, and then sets the table on fire. Mick Foley's on the apron by this point. Edge comes charging in, hits the spear onto Foley, and the two of them crash through the table. Oh, breathtaking spot. Absolutely spectacular spot, and unsurprisingly, that gets the win for Edge at 14 minutes and 36 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this was fucking brilliant. An absolutely barbaric match. You would think that by now, that at this point in his career, you would have seen everything from Mick Foley. And to be honest, he didn't do anything that we haven't seen before. But it all felt fresh and it all felt good, and it was really, really enjoyable. The crowd were all over it. Every move, it wasn't... So one of my big problems with hardcore matches, as I think I've said many, many, many times in these videos, is I don't like it when it's just weapon shot, weapon shot, weapon shot, weapon shot. You know, there was a nice flow to these things. And of course, Lisa keeps getting involved, and then she gets her comeuppance by getting fucking Mr. Soccer with a barbed wire in her fucking mouth. Absolutely fantastic. And that finish was really special. It's one of those things you'll never ever forget this. Mick Foley had said that he didn't have his WrestleMania moment. You know, and now he's got one, and this, you know, just fabulous. 4 stars. In the back, we see Booker T and Sharmell. Sharmell is freaking out about their upcoming match with the Boogeyman. She reckons that they attract freaks. Booker T is quite affronted by this and says, no, we don't attack freaks at all. So they bump into Paul Burchill, the pirate, who of course is a freak apparently. They bump into Eugene and Ted DiBiase. Eugene's bouncing a ball, can he go to 10 or 100, whatever, and DiBiase knocks the ball away. Snitsky, who is licking Mae Young's fucking foot. Would you want to join in? He says. And then Goldust, who tells Booker to become a freak, or he won't be able to beat a freak like the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman defeats Booker T in a bollocks match. Booker controls. Boogeyman is atrocious. His selling is woeful in all of the ways. Booker controls until he misses a scissor kick. Boogeyman kisses Sharmell with a mouthful of worms, so she runs away. Oh, it's Booker T and Sharmell, isn't it? The Boogeyman defeats Booker T and Sharmell in a bollocks match. Booker T controls. The Boogeyman is so fucking bad. His selling, especially, is atrocious. Booker T controls until he misses a scissors kick. Boogeyman kisses Sharmell with a mouthful of worms, so she bails. Booker eats a choke bomb, which gets the win at 3 minutes and 53 seconds. This match is proper go-away match. If you were there live, this is your piss break. And it's one of those matches where is this being done to? Is it being done to bring down the crowd after the excitement of the hardcore match? Because that's the only thing I can think of. The only reason for this existing at all. This is such a waste of Booker T. This feud is box. Literally, if I wasn't watching this show to talk about it for you guys, I would have skipped this match entirely. I mean, entirely. Not interested. Mickie James then defeating Trish Stratus in a decent match to win the Women's Championship. Mickie's been obsessed with Trish for months, as we all know, before turning on Trish at Saturday night's main event. It is incredible going into this one to think that Trish Stratus has been champion since she beat Lita at New Year's Revolution last year, 2005. That's amazing. So, as a pissed off person, because of course Mickie's turned on her and been freaky, Trish unloads with punches, a Thez press, and chops in a corner. I can't stand it when you've got a grudge match where two people really don't like each other and they do technical wrestling and a lock up and things like that to start. It's like, no, because if you do hate someone, you don't do things like that. You start batting them. Mickie goes for a kick, Trish counters it and throws Mickie to the mat, meaning Mickie does the splits. There's an audible wince from the crowd at that one. They go... They go outside where Trish aims a kick at Mickie, but it misses and she connects with the ring post. Mickie then goes on the offense, slamming the leg into the ring post. And like, oh, hang on, this could be good. Inside they have a slugfest where Trish sells the leg as she swings. Fucking superb. Happy days. Really like that. Mickie kicks the leg out of her leg, then hits a leg DDT for 2. A let's go Mickie chant rings out from this crowd who, from now on in, like, especially in the main event, you'll notice that they're not really having it the way that they're meant to. They are happy to cheer for their favourite, be it the face or the heel. Mickie works the leg in the corner, then slams the leg into the canvas, and then pops on a half Boston crab. Lovely. In the corner, Mickie puts the leg on the ropes and stomps on it, then follows with a leg lock. Trish counters into a swinging head scissors, and the crowd boos. Ditto a pair of clotheslines and a spine buster, which is very dangerous because she could have busted her spine. Mickie goes up top. Trish wants the headstand, but it's countered and Trish is dumped on her head. She gets 2 off a desperate roll-up and then 2 off a powerbomb. And then she sells the leg as she gets up. Mickie, now this bit isn't on the network version, and Mickie grabs the vagina to escape a kick and then does the motion. That's not on the network at all. I think Mickie Games got quite a lot of heat for that when she got backstage. They just cut to the crowd. They exchange blows. Then, depending on which version of this you're watching, if you're watching the live version, Mickie goes for Stratisfaction, but she doesn't bounce off the rope properly, so they buckle to the ground. She then hits a chip kick for the 3. On the network version, the Stratisfaction botch is completely cut off and just shows the kick and Mickie getting the win at 8:49. Difficult one to score because the psychology and selling in this one is fabulous. I absolutely love it completely. But that finish is atrocious. It's so bad. But of course, if you're watching this on the network, that finish doesn't happen. So it's what should we go with? I'm thinking 3.5 stars, something like that. I think that's a fair one. In the back, we see Vince McMahon and his family. Vince has been to the Drake Younger's School of Fake Tan. As Shawn Michaels has said that Vince should be praying, they have a family prayer. I should point out that Stephanie is there, and she's very pregnant. Vince says that he's broken all the rules, and he's going to send Shawn Michaels to the depths of hell, which is nice of him. The Undertaker defeating Mark Henry in a shite casket match. Henry cost a deadman match for the World Heavyweight Championship on an episode of SmackDown, and hit a World's Strongest Slam through some wood, which is nice. And then, of course, we saw his manager, Daivari, get tombstoned at Saturday night's main event, did we not? Slow, boring action to start. Made worse by, once again, this one, like the Benoit versus JBL match, plays to silence. The crowd are having none of it here, because I don't think any of them expect Henry to win, so it's a, why should we make any noise? The crowd come alive when Taker calls for old school, but Mark Henry counters it. So they go out to making no noise at all. Seriously, nothing of note happens for most of this match. At one point, they both end up in the casket, but there's no excitement and they both get out of it. Henry gets the world's... Oh, God's sake. Mark Henry hits the world's strongest slam and then goes for a cover because he's a goon. Taker gets a last ride out of the corner to finally wake up the crowd. He throws Henry to the outside and then hits an amazing diving plancher over the casket onto Mark Henry. We'll give him a star for that because we're feeling generous. But then, inside, tombstone pile driver, Henry's rolled into the casket, and that gives the Undertaker the win at 9:26. I can't help think that they had more stuff planned for this one, but what's the example I was going to say? Do you remember WrestleMania 11, King Kong Bundy versus The Undertaker? That one was terrible, and the crowd were having none of it. And you got the impression that midway through the match, the amount of time they had allocated, that Taker's just gone to put a little, this is bollocks, let's go home. And I just got that impression from this match as well. I got the impression that the whole time that they had like double that amount of time or double that amount of stuff planned, but because the crowd just weren't buying it, they just went, oh fuck it, let's just go home. Bloody, I've got it written on my notes here. Bloody awful, slow, dull, plodding, and dull. So let's go 1 star for that plancher because that was spectacular and breathtaking and wow. But other than that, shite. Shawn Michaels then defeating Vince McMahon in a no-holds-barred match. The build for this one was a little bit weak, to be honest. Vince is gloating about all the things he's done to people in the past. Shawn Michaels reckons that Vince should grow the fuck up. This pisses Vince off. And next thing you know, it's Saturday night's main event, and Vince is screwing Shawn Michaels out of his match with Shane in a street fight. You get the impression that I think this whole build is they want Bret Hart to be involved somehow because of the way they mentions about Vince goes, I did screw Bret, don't make me screw you, Shawn. So that sort of like, this is wank. This build-up is not fun at all. Vince is 60 years old as he struts to the ring. He shows us his muscle and fitness cover, which is on the screen right now. Wrestling 101 decrees that picture is going over someone's fucking head, doesn't it? Oh, yes. Anyway, it's too much for Shawn Michaels. He unloads on the boss, chucking him over the announce table and smashing the picture into Vince's face. There we are. Out come the Spirit Quad. Out come the Spirit Squad. For fuck's sake. Kenny misses a leg drop, and Shawn Michaels beats the squad down with the megaphone before launching one of the squad, don't know which one it is, onto his teammates on the outside. I don't know if it's Kenny, because Kenny Dykstra is the one who can do that fucking enormous leg drop. Vince takes control with the belts. He wants a sweet chin music, but that's countered. Flying forearm, some belt shots, and an elbow bring out Shane McMahon and his kendo stick. Vince wants Shawn Michaels to join a certain club, but Shane joins instead. Shawn Michaels then handcuffs Shane to the ropes and sticks the shit out of him. Big chair shot for Vince, who blades. Shawn tunes up the band, but then changes his mind and gets out a ladder. What a tit. Could have ended it there, doesn't. But there's 10 minutes left of this match. 10 whole minutes. Ladder shot. Vince, oh God, it's horrible to watch as well, because Vince doesn't bother putting his hand up, because he's hardcore and he's the boss and he can take it. Ladder shot, end of the ladder, right to his forehead, right there. Damn, that is not nice. He does it again, this time getting some garbage cans out. Sorry, when I say he does it again, he could win the match, chooses not to. He gets some large garbage cans out and a table, beats on Vince with the can. He then puts Vince on the table and climbs the ladder. But then he changes his mind, gets down, gets rid of the ladder, gets a fucking enormous ladder out, climbs that one, and then he puts the can on Vince's face, climbs the big ass ladder, elbow drop off the top, sweet chin music, and that gets the win. Oh dear. I missed a bit, sorry. Some EMTs come out and they want to take care of Vince. Shawn Michaels won't let them, and then hits the sweet chin music. I do apologise. That gets the win at 18:25. I must be getting old. 36 now, I felt this match was too long. 10 minutes too long. And the reason for that, and this is why I'm saying I'm getting old, because I should enjoy big bad evil Vince McMahon getting the shit kicked out of him. But those last 10 minutes of this 18-minute long match are just him getting mercilessly beaten down. And after a while like this, I'm not enjoying this. This is like, you could just finish it. Why are you giving him even more beats? It was all right in 1999 at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, for example, when Stone Cold did it to Austin, because he'd been chasing Austin. They'd been feuding for a year, and Vince had done all manner of stuff to him, so he wanted revenge in the most desperate way. Whereas here, it just doesn't feel like it. But also, the other thing about this one is that it's a heel move to have the match won and then break it up for whatever. You go for a cover and you lift your opponent up at 2. The reason we do this is because that is always going to be backfire, because you're cocky. You're like, I want to inflict more punishment. That never ever works. You always backfires on you. Here, Shawn Michaels did it 3 times, sorry. He did it 3 times and then still won. And that logic just baffles me. That doesn't work. Oh, anyway. So let's go 1.5 stars. But we're actually going to go 2 stars, because as Vince is being wheeled up the ramp on a stretcher, he's giving Shawn the finger. And that's brilliant. I absolutely love it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is Rey Mysterio defeating Randy Orton and Kurt Angle in a match to win the World Heavyweight Championship. So, let's get this run right. Rey Mysterio wins the Royal Rumble, okay? And then, at No Way Out, 2 episodes ago, I'm sure you remember it, Orton defeated Rey Mysterio to win his #1 contendership spot. Okay, so why is Rey Mysterio in this match? Well, I'll tell you. 5 days after No Way Out, on SmackDown, Teddy Long comes out and says, I can't reverse the decision or anything like that, but I can put you in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. And that's it. That's why he's in the match. That's it. There's no long, grueling tournament that Rey Mysterio won to beat Mitch Mio. If you can win this tournament, you're in the match, anything like that. He's in it because he is. Some band play Rey Mysterio to the ring to utter silence. I say some band because we all know that Rey Mysterio's music is done by a band called POD, but there's no introductions like this. It's not like at WrestleMania at 19, here is WWE's favourite band in the whole world, and Limp Bizkit. It's just Rey Mysterio's music starts and it's being done by a live band, and that's that. Great, well done, cheers for that. Randy Orton uses the belt to hit Angle before the bell. This one starts off hot and heavy as Orton gets 2 off a nice dropkick. Angle gets a big pop when they hit a stereo. He hits a stereo gym, so he grabs Orton, who grabs Rey. double German suplex. Fantastic. Orton gets 2 off a backcracker. Angle launches Ray into Orton, who's on the top rope. Ray turns into a runner for 2. Angle gets 2 off a suplex. He wants the ankle lock, but it's countered as Ray gets a big kick for 2. Ray gets the head scissors. He wants the 619, but Kurt counters into the ankle lock. Ray taps out, but the ref is too busy dealing with Orton, who has a chair. So Angle hits both challenges with Germans and an Angle slam style dunk to the outside. Ankle lock for Orton. He taps out, but the referee is busy, is being pulled out by Ray. What a face. Weird. Leg drop off the top by Ray gets 2, and the crowd really wants Angle to win this one. Angle slam to Orton, it's countered into RKO that gets 2. Orton goes up top, gets superplexed by Angle. Sent on by Ray gets 2. Gut wrench neck breaker on Ray gets 2 for Orton. Angle slam on Orton gets 2. He wants 1 for Ray, but it's countered into an armbar. 619, West Coast pop, get Orton the win. Get on. That's ridiculous. 619, West Coast pop for Orton by Ray. Gets the title. God, it's just not working today, is it? Gets Ray the championship at 9 minutes and 19 seconds. Now, can you see the problem that someone like me would have with this? Yeah, that's right. Spot, finish. This match it feels like you're watching it and you're thinking, this match must have had much more time, and they've been told they can't do that. So what they've done is they've sat down and gone, right, how about we just do all the spots that we had planned anyway, but just do them one after the other. So there's no selling at all. There's no feeling out process. Same to you. You get for living next to a row. That's properly throwing me. Cheers for that, guys. I would have much liked to have seen, if Ray had to be the one to win this match, I would much rather have seen Rey Mysterio get quite a beatdown and then pulled out a heroic comeback instead of just hitting his finishing move on one of the guys and winning. Literally, he did an arm drag triangle to get him out of the ring, hit the 619 and a West Coast pop on Orton and got the win. And that was that. Afterwards, Rey Mysterio celebrates with Vicky and Chavo. We see the 2 men who will face off against each other in the main event, getting ready. And then JR and King talk about how these two have came together and all of that. It's like the next match isn't going to happen at all. It's like the next match is treated as an afterthought, and that's what we will do as Tori Wilson defeats Candice Michelle in a rubbish Playboy pillow fight. JR tells us about the gate of the show as Candice is making her way to the ring. Yeah, seriously, there is no reason for this match to happen at all. It lasts 4 minutes. It is fucking woeful. Tori wins with a roll-up. The best description for this match that I can give you is JR, as the 3 goes down, says, put away the bowling shoes, this one's over. Yeah, it's that good. And then, in our main event, John Cena defeating Triple H in a good match to retain the WWE Championship. Really didn't like the build for this one, as Triple H it's almost like he went out of his way to belittle John Cena, It's like he made John Cena out to be a nothing. Actually, no, the best way I can describe this is that they showed on the build-up that they had a press conference for this match, okay? And Triple H said that this match will be the easiest match of his career. And that's very counterproductive booking, because if you brag about that it's going to be dead easy, if you lose, you look like a loser. But if you beat him easily, it's like, well done, you've beaten someone easily. Great, well done, great, well done. Triple H rises through the stage on a throne dressed like a Viking king. He is the king of kings, after all. He does look a little bit silly with his little plastic bottle of water. Maybe some sort of goblet would have been better, but hey, that's just me. Being in Chicago, Cena's entrance is all about the mob. So he comes out, so before he comes out, a gangster car comes out, and there's gangster members, and they've got Tommy guns, and one of the gangsters is some guy whose name is CM Punk. I'm sure he'll amount to nothing. Yeah, and then Cena is naturally booed to Kingdom Come. The game out-wrestles Cena to start, which the crowd loves. Whenever Cena gets the slightest bit of offense, Triple H puts him right down on the mat. It's a big Triple H chance. Cena gets some punches and a back body drop for 2, as does a fisherman suplex. You can't wrestle chance. Ring out as Cena puts on a chinlock. He then sends Hunter to the outside. They brawl to the entrance where Hunter is back body dropped onto the ramp. Inside, Triple H gets a high knee and the crowd inexplicably start chanting na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. I have no clue No clue. Unless there was a fight and someone was ejected. That's it. That's all I've got. Cena is thrown into the steps, busting his lip. Inside, a knee drop gets 2 for Triple H. A face buster and a big clothesline also get 2. This crowd is utterly electric at this point, which is elevating this match a lot. It's got that big match feel that you don't get very often, and it really fucking helps it. Neckbreaker gets 2 for the game. A swinging neckbreaker also gets 2. Very dangerous, could have broken his neck. Hunter with a neck crank and then a sleeper. Cena escapes and gets a desperation clothesline. 2 more and a power slam followed by a back suplex. He wants the 5-knuckle shuffle, but for the first time in ages, he runs into the quad-ripping spinebuster of doom. That felt good. Triple H gets another sleep, but Cena escapes and drops the 5-knuckle, then puts in the STF. Triple H makes the ropes. He wants the FU, but Triple H manages to escape and ram the ref into the corner. He goes low on both men just for good measure. Triple H gets his limmer, uses it, but of course it only gets 2, as does an FU for Cena. Cena goes up top, completely misses a crossbody. Triple H wants the pedigree, but, and this is a big shocker if you're watching this live on the night, it's countered into the STFU, and after a couple of minutes in it, Triple H taps out so that Cena can retain at 22 minutes and 2 seconds. Utter disbelief from the crowd. Seriously, they pan to the crowd and there are just people like... And of course, I think watching at home, I think everyone was like that as well. They could not believe... Everyone was so convinced that this was the time, because Cena's been champion for fucking ages. This was the time for Cena to lose the belt. And he didn't. And he was like, oh. So yeah, I'm happy to go 4 stars because, you know, this was really superb. Really good match from both men. The red hot crowd elevated it and made it a really good time to watch. It was one of those matches where you were sucked in by the action in the ring and by the crowd. At no point you sat there checking your phone or anything like that. You're like, this is really fucking good. So... what do we think? So the majority of the matches on this card are pretty damn good. 5 of them are 3 stars or above. So that alone makes this a good WrestleMania, and it's I'd say it's an easy watch, but unfortunately the flip side is that the matches that are bad are pretty damn shit. So JBL versus Benoit, the opener, the Boogeyman match, the casket match, the Divas match are all either dud to 1-star territory. They are not insane. So you probably want to give it a half and half. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt here. Once again, I must be getting old because I'm just, I'm being far too generous, I think. But what did you think? Because I think we're getting in the 6.5, 7 out of 10 status here. Like I say, there's the Money in the Bank match is good. Edge versus Mick Foley is good. Mickie James versus Trish Stratus is good. And then the 2 title matches are both good. So there's 5 matches straight away. And you may get more mileage out of Shawn Michaels versus Vince than I do, for example. So, ladies and gentlemen, I apologise for the fact that my mouth didn't want to work properly during this video. I don't like editing out my mistakes because I like to feel like when we're doing these reviews, I'm just talking to you. I'm talking to my audience member like I would talk to a friend, and I'm famous for tripping over my own words at the best of times. So yeah, I apologise for my mouth not working. Please, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. Check out my Instagram and my Facebook page. I'd love to have you on there. Next up, of course, Backlash 2006. I hope you're enjoying this comeback of mine as much as I am. Absolutely loving all your feedback, all your comments. I hope you're enjoying the stuff I'm doing with Connor because I'm loving that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching. I have been your exceedingly good host, Marc P. Exceedingly good. I was going to say esteemed. I have been your esteemed host, Marc P. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this for you. Take it easy. Thanks for watching and good night. Take it easy, guys.